Hey everyone, this is Devil Bunny, and this is my virtual pinball machine. We have powered this up with GameEx, and let's have a look at it right now. You can see that for starters, the cabinet here is a Coffee Mate Star Battle. We basically took the playfield out of this machine because these were made with removable playfields, replaced it with a LCD television, and then we put, it's got a computer underneath. We gutted it. However, we can put the entire machine back together with no problem. There was no damage done. That was part of the project, to do this so we could use the machine as a Star Battle at some point in the future if we wanted to. Now you can see we're using the newest version of GameEx with the screen sending out to the secondary screen, which is the back glass. This is our main menu. You can see here we've got pretty simple stuff here. I'll go through a couple of these with you and show you exactly what they do. Firstly, pinball collection. This is exactly what it sounds like. This is where we have a master list of all the machines. You can see that there's also subdivided machines by emulator, but most people are going to go straight to the master list. Now you can see the setup we've done here is we've put the table behind the directory. Over to the left, you've got your back glass, and these are the wheel images from HyperPin, which I have basically used in GameEx. They work great. We have HyperPin also set up on this machine, but GameEx was, I thought, the way to go. And once the few things were ironed out, it works great. And you can see as we flip down through these, each of these come up. The back glass is a slight hesitation, but nothing that's you can't live with. Once you find a machine you want to have a look at, it's a simple task of just clicking on it, and then you come to a secondary screen. This is where you have your general game information. You've got your the title. You've got the flyer, front and back. And this is a great use on this version of the monitor, because you can get a nice vivid view of the actual flyer itself. So it works out quite well. And then what also I did was went through and stuck in all the instructional cards. I used the instructional cards from HyperPin, converted them over from Shockwave to PNG, and if you click on those, you can get a full-size view of the instructional screen. So let's go ahead and fire this thing up. Oh, one last thing. Add to the Hall of Fame. This is our favorites list. We call it the Pinball Hall of Fame. Let's go ahead and fire it up. Now you're going to see a little of the program spam that when it loads up. I haven't figured out how to get rid of this yet, and I have the same problem on HyperPin to a certain degree, but I'll figure something out in time. HyperPin, or Visual Pin MAME and Future Pin are old emulators, and they don't like to play well in Windows sometimes, and that's a byproduct of that. Now you can see this is Attack from Mars. You will, if you're familiar with the emulators, you know what you're getting. But you can see everything looks real well. GameEx does let you use the UVP back glasses, so you can see the dynamic lighting on the back glass. And I've noticed, having ran both front ends, that GameEx seems to have a lot less overhead. I don't get the slowdowns I did with HyperPin in most of these machines when it comes to visual pinball. Everything runs very nicely, and with the UVP it runs well. There's no slowdowns because of that, which I've seen as well. Also, this will work with the new full-screen visual pinball packs, where they all come in one standard unit. I've had no problem at all. It works perfectly. So we're going to exit this, and this will take us back to the main screen, and then we'll back out. Let me show you a couple other items here. Now, you can see in this view, we've got all the names here, just the names. What I wanted to do with my next item, which was the pinball timeline, was, let people play the pinball machines of certain eras. I've got the early days, the boom period, solid state era, DMD, and the rebirth. And these are just various decades that we've split up. So let's have a look at the DMD. Let's look at the DMD era here, and you can see what I've done here is I've included the actual dates and the companies that made them. Now we're working on the database for Future Pin and Visual because there's really not one right now for GameEx that's been recently updated. But you can see these have the date on them, and again, once you go into them, you're getting the same items you did before. Pop out of here. The random table, of course, it is what it says it is. It's a random table. Here's our Hall of Fame, which is where our favorites that we've added. This works flawlessly with the new update. And then most played and last table played. Now, on top of that, I thought you might want to have a quick glimpse inside the machine just to show you what it looks like. We're going to hit the lights here. What we've got here is this is just a plain Jane monitor. Right now it's in a temporary setting. We've got a housing for it that we're going to put in it when we finally put all the hardware together. And we're going to add I've got to add some buttons. I've got the wire harness put together, but I haven't added the buttons yet. So we're going to pop this thing open. Let you look inside. Now what you've got here, obviously, is a LCD television, 32-inch LCD TV, and the platform you're seeing it sitting in is actually where the playfield's set in this Coffee Mate Star Battle. And it lifts right out because when the Coffee Mate put these together, the plan was to have interchangeable playfields, and unfortunately I think they made 2, and they're very rare. We've still got ours, but you can see by the insides here that underneath the television is the computer and the various wiring. But it's a really pretty easy, pretty easy situation if you're lucky enough to have one of these and you don't like the game in it. It's not too difficult to get the DTV in here and get it ready to go. And we of course wired up the lighting that was in it previously. So pretty much that's our rig. And when I finally get the buttons and whatnot put in, we'll do probably one more video to show what the finished product looks like. But effectively, the software is done. And I'd like to thank Tom, the creator of GameEx, for really pitching in with me and helping me on a few features that I was looking for. I think this is more than a viable front end for a pinball setup like this. I have a feeling a lot of people are going to come this way because it does a great job. And we've taken a poll here at the house, and so far this is everyone's favorite. Is by far is GameEx. So that'll be the end of it then. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, feel free to drop me a message. Thanks a lot.